So in my opinion, Keir Starmer and the BBC is what's wrong with Britain today. And they are going to ruin the relationship between the UK and the US. Bearing in mind, we have to rely on the US massively. They're happy to be completely biased, even though they say they're non-biased. They're happy to spread misinformation about another president, a president of another country who we work extremely closely with. It is crazy. If the BBC wasn't caught, Keir Starmer would have been happy and he would have just continued to sweep it under the carpet, in my opinion. Division is massive in Britain right now and it needs saving. It really, really needs saving. And the BBC, Keir Starmer, who, yes, he says he's furious right now, but we know for a fact he's trying to figure out a way, once again, in my opinion, on how to get Trump to stop suing the BBC. When it comes to trade, military, NATO, support, we work extremely closely with the US. Oops, sorry. If it came to going abroad on operations in any major war, we would need the US's support. I read a story today as well that we're looking at purchasing new F-35B fighter jets. One of, if not the best fighter jet currently out there. Definitely one of. Nuclear strike capability. From what I was reading, the US are going to control and own the nuclear weapons that are on the UK F-35B fighter jets. So we won't even control all of our nuclear weapon systems and deterrence. Keir Starmer, I'm sure in the past, has been open about not being a fan of Trump. Do your own research on that, but I am sure he has been open about not being a fan of Trump. What this does for the UK and US relationship is shocking. As we know, Trump has been very, very critical of what is going on in the UK with our border issues, with our armed forces, our defence budget, our free speech. Then we have a national broadcaster that we know are on sides with Keir Starmer, edit and doctor video footage of the United States president to say that he was inciting and calling for violence. Sorry, I've got a bad tongue today, so I can't really talk. What sort of world do we live in? That is not being British. They can go on about a renewed Britain. It's all about being British, multicultural this, let everyone in. But all they want to do is stir the pot, create division, and bring violence themselves. No broadcaster who says they're non-biased and they just want to spread the information, spread the correct information, would do something like that to such a close ally that we rely upon. And no Prime Minister would just stand back and just say, yeah, I'm furious about this. This is really bad. I'm a big supporter of the BBC. I think everyone should pay their TV licence. But yeah, this is bad. I'm furious. No, you should be going, yes, President Trump. That has been proven. The investigation has come out. Here's the evidence. We've got it. The BBC did edit to say that you were calling for violence. But you didn't. They lied. Sue him. And then whatever he can do in the background to get rid of the BBC or get them sued, he should be doing. Because if you speak out of tone, you say the wrong thing, you incite violence, or it looks like you're trying to incite violence, you're arrested and sent to prison. Or arrested, cautioned, whatever it is. No, not the BBC. He's just furious. That is not being British. We'll do a full video on what it's like to be British, because we need to really get out there what it means to be understand to be British. It's about being proud of your nation, having integrity, having courage, speaking up when something is wrong. And in my opinion, that is not what our current Prime Minister does. That is not what our leader is doing, because the BBC have done wrong. They have done wrong. There is no integrity. There is no courage. There is no sense of pride in being British. We do not stand for things like that. We do not stand for creating division. We stand for creating unity. Unity, sorry, my tongue. It's all about being united as one. No matter who you are, if you're living in Britain, it's about being united as one, having the integrity to obviously be honest, the integrity and courage to speak up when something is done wrong, and the integrity and courage and the discipline to act on it. Not try and, because you still want the BBC to be around, try and sweep this under the carpet, talk President Trump out of the suing, because you're going to ruin a relationship we need. Trump, you could call him like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. I like him because he has the integrity, he has the courage, he has the discipline to say when someone is doing something, but he's also got the integrity, courage and discipline to act on it. Something a lot of our political key figures do not have. And that's why the military is so good. We can pull the core values. The core values out of the military is basically derived from being British. Sea drills, courage, discipline, respect for others, integrity, loyalty, selfless commitment. And that's what people are trying to do. They're trying to unite people through sea drills. But our current government don't want to do that. And our current government and the BBC want us just left out to dry.